Have you ever been to Canada and Chicago and St. Louis in the same weekend? Well, I have. And you know what I did? I got my ass kicked all over this land, all over North America. We're talking about food. We're talking about glasses. We're talking about Tom Holland. Would he have been jealous of Zendaya next to Timothée Chalamet, the man that makes me cry, the cultural icon? You can hear all of this week on Weekend at Effy's. And if you want to hear more, go to weekendateffys.com for the Patreon. Go look at the dates on the Substack, weekendateffys.substack.com. You can look at dates. You can look at movie news. You can look at info about us and dogs and cute pics and fun. And don't forget, follow us on all the socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah. Weekend at Effy's. YouTube. Oh my God. Are you guys watching our YouTubes? No one's watching our YouTubes. We have to hire a YouTube person if we're ever going to get people to view these videos of us. But I just want to say, historically, this is going to go down as one of the most historic podcasts of all time. And you're here for it. In the middle of it, you can tell your kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, because we're going to live a long time, all about Weekend at Effy's and what I was able to accomplish week to week as a flying nun. Welcome to Weekend at Effy's. We're live on the air, pal? Yeah. Okay, I'll say it. If I was Ryan Reynolds, I would be an absolute piece of garbage. I would be a douchebag. I would be rich and Deadpool and I got all the money. So if he's not a perfect human, or like maybe he like has some like, maybe he has a little attitude sometimes, just understand, like, just wake up. You're Ryan Reynolds. You look over, there's Blake Lively, and then you're Deadpool. Real quick, let me be honest. Yeah, fuck you too. Hi, Peter.
Hello.
Welcome to Weekend at Effy's, which is also Weekend at Effy's and Petár's. Dogs are dogging today. You know what I was thinking about last night?
What were you thinking
I want to set
about?
the tone because I think we're going to have a really good conversation this week. Something is shifting in the air. We're looking forward to the way the springtime comes. My nose is stuffed, and that's all that pollen. What were they saying about the pollen here? Like it's a pollinage.
It's like a record-breaking pollen season.
Yeah, it's insane. And it happens from planting too many male plants.
Which the city of Atlanta, in its infinite wisdom, planted only male trees.
Right. Is there not a botanist on we fired them all, right? We fired all. If you are interested in any way in science, you're fired.
I have not been breathing well all week.
Yeah, no, but the flowers are beautiful.
The flowers are beautiful.
My God.
I've been really enjoying the outside.
It is
the outside
so colorful. We've got the yellows, the pinks in the front, the whites, the
They
reds.
really came out of nowhere.
Like in a day.
Yeah.
Like in a day.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get a little thunderstorm today, which would clear everything up.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm getting to. This weather, I've been thinking about Madonna and Gogol Bordello performing La Isla Bonita, and that's like the vibe of the outdoors. Have you seen this performance?
You know they're going to make a movie together.
Really?
I think they did make a movie together.
Wow.
There's some weird Madonna thing with him in making a movie.
Well, I think they're great together. And she's always been ahead of the curve, right? I looked up because Madonna wears a very Effy similar video in Bitch, I'm Madonna, the music video. Have you seen this one? It's got a lot of fun people in it. Bitch, I'm Madonna. Bitch, I'm Madonna. Well, that song was 2015 off the MDNA album. And that's when I got my jacket too. So we were on that style of jacket at the same time, me and Madonna, which means we're both future forward thinking people. And I think that's like, someone was saying it the other day. It's like, it's frustrating being ahead, right? Well, no, it's magic because then you see like if Madonna and me are on the same wavelength, I'm doing something right because she's been a cultural icon for 50 years.
Okay, it was a 2008 British comedy drama film directed by Madonna, starring Eugene Hutz of
Gogol Bordello
and Richard E. Grant of
What?
Death of a Unicorn.
This is crazy. We're bringing it together. We just talked about Death of a Unicorn on the Patreon Cineminisode. Should I call it that? Is it like, it was about a lot of things, but I'm going to call it the Cineminisode. Not cinnamon, cinema.
I like it though because it does evoke a
Cineminisode.
Cineminisode.
And Cinema Roll, the character from Sanrio. ripped out more of my hair in the front this weekend. We will talk about all of that. I had 3 incredible matches all over the place. I'm so excited to hear from our people. I've had a lovely time in the sun. I think the vitamin D does me well. And I want to get right to it, Peter. Let's get into questions because we have a lot to discuss.
So first off, our lovely, lovely friends at Movie John Ben commented, "That's a beautiful hat," and that is in reference to the fact that you are wearing Bebop as a hat in the photo for the questions post.
I often wear him as a hat because he will just sit on top of my head to look out the window.
Yes.
And I like to sit in this little spot in the
And
couch.
it's a perfect seat for him. And if you would like to view said photo, you should be on the Patreon.
I just and I know we're preaching to the choir for a lot of you that are on the Patreon, but understand the pup dates are beautiful. You're a professional artist and photographer, and you're providing these really fun, beautiful Atlanta City photos of these dogs all around, all the dogs. You want to see Cranberry in her wheelchair, but I'm not trying to just hype you on that. We're trying to provide a Patreon that gives you all sorts of things. So we have mini-sodes, we have early episodes, we have my vlogs, which you asked me if I'd put out 1 or 2. I put out 2 this year. So there's been 2 20 or so minute vlogs of my travels, of my plays, and I'm trying to do more of the filming. And I think we're gonna have some other stuff coming soon too, because I need my reminder. I might set a reminder for you to text me at some point during the weekend to go talk to whoever you're next to for 10 minutes, because this is gonna turn into a very fun portion, I think, that can be added as a once a month sort of
Oh, are we trying to spread the curse?
But this is outside of the curse. Okay, hold on. This is outside of the curse. The curse is when me and you are in our home recording.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where the curse is. This happened.
Yeah.
Kind of. Kind of. Never mind. Maybe we shouldn't spread the curse. We are cursed on this podcast. I'm not saying it's my fault, but I'm saying that the guests we've had on here have not had a good go of it. And Cole Radrick needs a little bit of assistance right now. He was let go from his job, I think illegally. Because they were oh, you're going to need 12 weeks of paid time off because of your injury, because that's what the legal protections are. We're going to, maybe because of this, even though we just promoted you 3 times, it doesn't matter. It is fucked up. The man does not have a job right now. This happened while he was working out. This can happen anytime, right? It doesn't, if you're I'm only going to support a wrestler injury if they fell off a ladder. If that's sort of your mindset, get out of here. If you're saying, oh, there's a lot of GoFundMes, get out of here. You don't have to do anything with a GoFundMe. But if you have $5 or $10, as I'm advertising our Patreon, let me be real, the boy could use some help. He's going to be out of work a while. He's out of wrestling for a while. It's not a good mental thing, but on the other side of that, and where I hope Cole will be soon because he has his surgery tomorrow to go ahead and get his ACL repaired, Allie went to the NXT show last night. Allie's out and about on the town, and I'm nervous. Peter, I'm nervous because I don't think she likes me still. Well, whatever. We'll get into that. We have questions from our Patreon subscribers because not only do you get all the bonus content, you get to ask the questions on the show. So if you have a burning question for me, you're either going to have to come find me and hope I'm at the table at a live show that you had to buy a ticket to, or you can just get on the Patreon. I will answer the question. Petár will also answer the question. Bebop refuses to answer the question.
Okay, this is from Clissy. On Trixie's podcast, Bob the Drag Queen said she used to love wrestling. We got to get her to the Big Gay Brunch.
So I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but we have had conversations with Bob the Drag Queen's manager. And by we, I mean Pero. And Pero's been working very hard on some very secretive things going on that have not always worked out. But we are always, I need people to understand that when we get to the Big Gay Brunch, when the Big Gay Brunch happens, there's so much unpredictable that ends up on that final card. And I would have never predicted Zack Sabre Jr. Like I said on the podcast, we were trying, but even in that clip, it's I don't believe it's going to happen. We made it happen. We've made some other cool things happen. And
I didn't believe Bebop was going to happen. Baby Bop.
Baby Bop. Yeah, Baby Bop.
That was a surprise.
Baby Bop, 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 Bop. Better than Baby Shark. So, nothing is out of the ordinary. Nothing's out of the possible. I also want to say that thanks to the lovely queens on the team of RuPaul's Drag Race Live in Las Vegas, which I believe is at the Flamingo still, they are letting me come for a VIP show on Sunday. So I'm
Hell
quite
yeah.
excited. And I'm wondering, I've had a few people reach out. I've had a few discussions. I think we're going to get some fun drag excitement at Big Gay Brunch. I can guarantee, though, Pollo Del Mar will be in the house. And Pollo Del Mar will be having the hosting and fun. We're going to have a great team that you are familiar with out on there. And if we get some extra drag guests, what a blessing. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's exciting. So, yes, Bob the Drag Queen, please come. It would be a lovely time. If you've never hit someone in the face with a chair, Bob the Drag Queen, let me say this. If you've never hit someone in the face with a chair, it's so much fun. You can hit him as hard as you want. So, we'll see. The card, I think, is almost finalized. Thank God. Got a lot of things going on. And it's going to be one of those... It's going to be one of those shows that you look back on and go, damn, there are some talented wrestlers right now in the LGBTQ space. And it's like, I'm looking at the card going, how are we not sold out yet? Because it's crazy, the level of talent across the show. This is all-stars of the all-stars of the gays, girls, theys, and waves. Maybe you're a wave, you know? Okay.
This is from Danny. If you put the Second Gear crew in a time machine, except Mance, fuck Mance,
Yeah.
what old school promotion or territory would you all thrive in?
I would love to go back to like the World Class Championship Wrestling in Texas with the Von Erichs, with the Freebirds, with that whole gang. I mean, we've taken a good bit from the Freebirds. You know, I look at someone like Terry Bam Bam Gordy, who was kind of their big heavy muscle. Manders, who has become such a like single star. He's been in Europe for almost 3 whole months.
Yeah.
And has just been like winning tournaments and battling for championships and going nuts. He has a WXW championship match before he comes back on the 7th. So he could be coming back to the States with a championship. Pretty crazy. I can't wait to see him in Vegas. But seeing him back in the day with those old school, like, you know, you think of a guy like Dick the Bruiser taking on a Manders. It's insane. Or you think of Abdullah the Butcher and it's like prime, like 89 time versus a Matthew Justice, you know, I think it would be incredible. So I think there's a lot to offer with that. And I also think let's go all the way back in time. I want us to go in the Gladiator arena, just like in the film Gladiator 2, starring Paul Mescal and Denzel Washington, to the Gladiator arena and see if SGC and some armor could throw down with some sword action. Flaming arrows, Assassin's Creed style. Okay? SGC in the Coliseum. You can try to crucify us and make us fight lions. We will eat their brains in front of you and not get salmonella. Or what's the other one? Trichonoma? Trichinosis. You're getting very sleepy. My trichinosis is working. Oh, God, I'm losing it. I'm having so much fun this week, Peter.
God.
This is good. This should be joy. It should be joy in our heart. Push of positivity. It's all joy.
Okay, in honor of April Fool's Day, what is your favorite prank you've either played on someone or someone has played on you?
I don't like pranks.
Yeah.
I don't like April Fool's Day. I don't like pranks. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to say this to be a dick. I love Christmas. I love holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forget when they're going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they happen. And April Fool's Day is definitely not even on the list that would be similar to a Christmas or a Mardi Gras or a 4th of July or whatever it may be. And so I always forget it's coming and I forget it's happening. And I spend the first half of the day just going, I guess that's how that is now. Like, oh, all right. There's not like, I'm not ever like worried about things, but things are so fucked up in the world that I feel like we're past the need of an April Fool's Day. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like pranks. I don't like ribs. I don't like getting tricked. I'm very gullible. I'm very genuine, and I will just believe things at face value.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm sarcastic, but I feel like when I'm sarcastic, I'm being sarcastic. Like I'm not trying to trick you into doing or thinking something.
You're
that
not
is false.
dry.
I can be a little dry, but it's like a shady. You're right. It's not all the way dry. It's a little wet. If it's too dry, like I put a little on it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's too dry, yeah, I can't tell.
I want it as dry as possible.
I know, but like, what about you? Do you like pranks? Did you prank people?
No, my dad would play a lot of pranks, and I always like really fucking hated him. Like really hated him. I did want to ask you though, George Clooney, famous on-set prankster. Would you let him play a prank on you?
Yeah, I think that's different.
Okay.
That's like,
What about Mel Gibson? Because before any of the controversy or anything, his reputation, every interview that he gave was about how he was an on-set prankster and put a cigar in his butt on the set of Mad Max.
so we were talking about this the other day about ribbing in wrestling, which is a very common thing. And it sounds like in the acting world, you're on a set with people, you're there the same time every day. You know, it's early, it's late, you're doing long hours. Imagine it's similar. Someone was asking me about what it was like to work with JBL. And it's hilarious because he's a ribber, he's a pranker, but he's ribbing Matt Cardona and he's ribbing guys who like would be above me being able to rib them a lot of the time. And they were like, how is that? And I was like, it's so cool, it's this and that. And then I kind of remembered JBL back in the day was one of the most legendary like bully gods and would like ruin some young men's lives with some of the pranks and shit he was pulling. And I'm like, I am so honored to exist in a timeline where I get to experience like the fun, jovial sense of prankster merriment that he still has, but that it's not like affecting my ability to make money in this job or career. And I'm not like being blacklisted from things because I got pranked and fucked my career up. You know what I mean? Like, all power to you people, but just like, please don't ruin people's lives.
Who was it
pranks.
that like kind of ruined their career off of a punked guy who was like super not cool?
I don't know, but punked. I don't know. Thinking back on it now, with Ashton Kutcher's
did someone
history,
assault somebody and they like caught it on camera?
Probably.
I can't remember who it was.
I just only remember when you say punk now. I only remember the POD. There's been a bioterrorist attack.
Yeah,
it's the only one I can remember in my mind. Is POD getting sprayed down in the tent? We are, and it's Ashton Kutcher like, we're gonna get him, we're gonna trick POD. Ooh, they are not in on the conversation.
I think I mean, talking about the hardest part of working with JBL, it's got to be finding the outlet to plug him in.
Oh my God, because he's a speaker brand.
Yeah,
he does a lot of charity mountain climbs
sitting
now.
on that for a while.
Yeah, I think he climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
My mom
twice.
climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
I told you about my great aunt at my grandma's funeral. Aunt Margaret, who ran a marathon on every continent, including Antarctica. She said, I'm going soon to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. And I said, that's so incredible, Aunt Margaret. And she goes, well, I've already done it before. It's not that incredible. And I was like, oh my God, girl. This is the same woman who, her and her boyfriend Harold, who was 80, snuck the organ out of my Aunt Colleen's house when she died. Like rolled a large full-size piano organ out of her house so that they couldn't get it in the estate sale. Like so she could have the organ. 84 years old. Crazy. Wow. Crazy. Look her up. Margaret Haggerty. You can look her up online. She's run a marathon on every continent. She quit smoking when she was in her 50s and decided to be a marathon runner. She's insane. Margaret Haggerty Widenhouse. She is a wild woman.
Crazy.
Yeah. Their daddy paved all the roads in North Carolina. I wish I saw some of that money. I did not see any of that money. But the girls, they said the three girls, this is what happens when you're three sisters, all right? We had Colleen, we had Betty, and we had Margaret. Betty, my grandmother. They either become Heim or they have to drive concrete mixer trucks. There's no in between. You become a sick girl group or you've got to drive the concrete mixer trucks. It's never the same. You never get both. Can't have a cool uncle and a jetpack.
Okay, this is our last question. This is from Miguel. How was it working with Microman in the ring? Was there a language gap?
There's absolutely a gap in language, but the coolest thing about wrestling and the thing that I've known forever, I don't even want to call it nervous. What I get is sort of, I want to make sure that the match is done at the highest level. I know I can do it. And so I hold myself to a certain standard. And so there's a pressure almost of making sure that I give you the best version of Effy versus Microman that's happening on this night. And I don't know when the next time it's going to happen is. And knowing the language of wrestling, and I'm coming in with the knowledge because I've spent a lot of shows with Microman. I know what Microman can do. Microman has been around me more than he would like to admit. and he knows a little bit of what I
Is
can
it
do.
Microman or Microman?
Microman is the correct Spanish
Okay.
pronunciation, but like written out, an American would say Microman. I call him Micro, because it's fun and I want to like show him. Now I will say it's really fun working with him in the ring. It's even more fun just hanging out with him. And I'll be honest, I don't want to kill kayfabe for people. We were hanging out all day, so I kind of had the chance to go ahead and run some ideas by him that he seemed to understand competently. We did not work in the ring at all, and I want to say this about working with Microman in the ring. If you are a wrestler who has at any point come up to me and said he's so much heavier than he looks, you're fucking wrong. You're fucking incredibly wrong. He looks and weighs the amount he looks he weighs. And I will have no further conversation about it. This man is Micro, and he is very easy for me to maneuver. Now, maybe I'm a very strong big boy, but if y'all are having trouble moving Microman around, let me be honest. Go back to the fucking gym. I don't want to be. This has nothing to do with body size or weight or body dysmorphia. This has to do with your functional fucking job is to pick up people and put them down.
Yeah.
And if Microman is someone that you even bring up in the conversation, sit the fuck down, loser. Sit down. He's incredible. Getting to do it in Chicago too. Chicago's such a rowdy town, and I am very much in tune with Chicago. I think if I think about cities I've wrestled in, Chicago's up there as one of the cities I've wrestled like the most times in. I mean, throughout my career, I've always had a home in Chicago, and to come back, the fans have that history already. The people who know Effy in there, they know the history I have in Chicago, and to be booed relentlessly by the fans while I'm fighting Microman as if he's the Juan Cena of our promotion. He's incredible. He is charismatic. He is the funniest motherfucker. He only speaks Spanish. I only speak English. I realize this is a flaw, but we also got to steal Gringo Loco for a few minutes. And I know he's listening. Shout out Gringo Loco, who helped us put this together very quickly, to make sure that it was tight into what we wanted. And he was so much fun and so creative, and he had ideas and he had shifts and he had things, and it just felt like a collaboration of two artists. And that's like, to me, that's what wrestling is. It's like two people together. Once again, that's why it will never be drag. I love drag, but Drag Race has one part of the show at the very end where they have a competition, and wrestling is every time a group project, every time a blending of things. I am never just presenting Effy. In fact, I think that would be boring. Effy as a juxtaposition to whatever is there, and that as a juxtaposition to me is what makes wrestling cool, is what makes wrestling wrestling.
Have we talked about third mind before?
No.
The idea that when you bring two people together, the space that they're inhabiting, in fact, creates a third mind, which is
that was, so I was listening to an interview on Mark Maron with this gay Jewish comedian, Modi. I forgot his last name, maybe Hadfil. It doesn't matter. Modi said that in the Talmud, like in the ancient Jewish text, it says that when two funny men are together, that is God. And so I think it's sort of that concept of like when you are collaborating with someone in that creative way to produce art, the art itself and the creation of that art, it becomes that communal concept of the consciousness we all share or the spirit we all share. And so like wrestling's essence is being able to provide that I don't even know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen before I get out there. I don't know what's going to happen when I get out there. I kind of have an idea. We have a little plan, but what we're creating together with these two humans on this particular day and time, forming art that fills a gap of space, it's like that's the third mind. I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Wherever there are two joke men talking, God is in that space.
I love that.
It's like
something that just got brought up is conspire means to breathe together.
Okay.
And there's this idea
like we're conspiring a plan, but it's like we're
breathing together.
Yeah.
And there's this idea again in Jewish, like traditional Judaism, then also Jewish mysticism, that the reason you don't say the name of God is because the name of God is your breath. It's the inhalation. And so when you're breathing together, it's two gods breathing together, creating a third. So I don't know. There's just so many fun layers to all of that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful. Okay, so what this is telling me, folks at home, is that we should watch Yentl. So fucking good. Mandy Patinkin nude scene.
Ooh. Again, I'll trade you Manny Patinkin for Manny Patinkin.
Oh, but that's a whole series. That's 8 seasons.
No, 4 seasons.
Okay.
4 seasons. We just do the Brody stuff. It's just the Damian Lewis seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. Yentl's so good, though. It's really a classic. You can't even, you're just like, this is a classic film. This is a film that
I
stands
think
the
it's
test of
like
time.
24 episodes a season, though.
Yeah, that's fine. What is it on Showtime?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a little Showtime action going. We can make it happen. If anybody has a Showtime login and wants me to see Homeland, hook it up. I'm going to be honest. Hook it up. Because I'm not paying for Showtime
I don't know.
right
This
now.
is a stupid bit. I like, because there's so much better uses of your time. I can't even, like, keep it up.
I still think we should watch Yentl. Yentl changed me as a person.
Okay.
Yentl helped me understand gender.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely. And it doesn't feel 3.5 hours long. But it's fucking you know why people don't like Yentl? Because people have trouble being genuine.
You might have just sold me on this.
Yeah. Because it's the most marvelous magic. Like, I mean, how far would you go to be able to learn? And where would it take you?
Interesting.
Into the realms of love.
Interesting.
And how long can a lie live before it destroys you? I don't know, man. I'm just saying Yentl's like, and I've been reading Barbara Streisand. You got another Barbara Streisand for me? I'm going to have to compare. I opened up the new Barbara Streisand you brought home, which you found. There's more Barbara Streisand books. And I opened the page and started reading a story, and I went, I already know this bit. About when she was playing a secretary in a musical play, and she had to sing her solo song. And she goes, well, I'm going to sit in the rolling chair. And I go, no, you have to stand. And she goes, why would I? I'm working in an office as a secretary. I'm sitting in my rolling chair. And they said, you can't do that. And then she just did it anyway. Because she's Barbara. Not Barbara. Barbara. You're a legend, Barbara. A star is born. That's how I feel. I love Barbara Streisand.
Do you like the Bradley Cooper Lady Gaga one?
Yeah, I think here's my problem. I really, really like Bradley Cooper. I can tell when he's trying really hard.
He's doing those ice cream commercials now.
Well, I just wanted to go eat his fucking, wasn't he doing
Cheesesteaks?
Yeah. I want to eat one of
You
those.
want to have a Bradley cheesesteak?
I want to have a little B-Coop cheesesteak. I think his work as Rocket Raccoon is incredible. Come on, Groot. But I also think that you can feel a little desperation off him that you don't get from Chris Christopherson in the Barbra Streisand version. Like, you can tell he cares about Oscars. That's like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
In every film, I can tell, even though it is incredible acting,
You
I can
abandoned
tell,
Snoopy in the vestibule.
I can tell he knows whoever his character is. I can tell he's seen the Oscars hosted by Billy Crystal and wants to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like I feel it.
Wait, was it the blackface year?
Okay, let's leave Billy Crystal
That was
alone,
post
guys.
9/11 though.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that would have been like 91.
Ooh. Let's see.
Well, he did Whiteface in Spinal Tap as a mime. That's Whiteface,
Are they
right?
really making another one of those?
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's going to be terrible. Did you see Zoolander 2?
No, I did not.
Guaranteed to be in the vein of Zoolander 2. Now, what if they did a Master of Disguise sequel, though? Okay, I'm going to...
No.
What?
No, it
What?
was 2012? Ooh, boy.
Why would... What
It
is...
was 2012 he did the Sammy Davis Jr. thing.
But he did that long ago, right? When did Jimmy Fallon do Chris Rock?
During Sunday night's Academy Awards ceremony, Billy Crystal revisited one of his oldest bits where he put himself in the Best Picture nominees with some clever cutting CGI and occasionally the assistance of the nominee stars. But the Oscar host grew criticism after revisiting an even older bit in which he impersonates Sammy Davis Jr. Yeah, he just did it again.
And what's the
in
name of
2012.
Eugene Hutt's dog in Everything is Illuminated starring Elijah Wood? Sammy Davis Jr. Jr. Okay, so this
He's
is all
my
coming
seeing
together.
eye bitch.
My seeing eye bitch.
I love that movie.
It's a really good
and
movie.
it's fucking what's his name from Bordello?
Yeah, Eugene Hutz. That's his dog, Sammy Davis Jr. Jr.
Yeah. That movie's so
I read the
good.
book too, and I really enjoyed it.
The rest of his stuff is Ugh.
Is it?
Yeah, his
I haven't-
9/11 book is
I'm
almost
not.
offensive.
I'm not reading anybody's 9/11 book except for Dick Cheney's where he admits to it. Now I'm waiting for that one to come out.
I heard a story about someone that knew both Christian Bale and Dick Cheney was like at a party with Dick Cheney and said, my friend Christian says hello, and he said to him, "Tell him he's a real dick," which might have been a nod to him, like that could have been a compliment, you know. He's a real dick, as in he did a good job playing me.
He's a real
dick, but also it's like a nice dig too.
I think Dick Cheney's an asshole, but like a funny asshole.
I think a funny asshole.
He shot his friend and the guy apologized to him.
That's
which sounds like a story you tell where you go,
thing.
yeah, it was a pretty bad shot that day. You know, my heart's not what it used to be, but I am Dick Cheney and I made him say sorry.
That's something that presidents used to do, 150 years ago.
Was it the scarecrow that didn't have a heart? No, it was me. I'm Dick Cheney. I don't have a real heart. I had a pig's heart for a long time, and then they put in a fake ventricle plastic unit. So no heart here. So it's not going to break my heart, honey. You know, because he doesn't have a heart.
You know what TV show has a pacemaker remote detonation subplot?
What is that?
Homeland.
Oh, my God. Fucking Homeland. You know, I just want to say, I wish we hadn't invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, because then we wouldn't have Homeland. But only for that reason. Only for that reason do I wish we did not invade these countries, because I can't keep listening to my roommate talk about Homeland. I can't do it. Can't fucking do it. Oh. Yeah, that's lovely. I want to play you this clip. This is my favorite clip. And I really need people to understand, me and Brett are sending each other these things as a joke. And this is this guy who people are really mad about me existing on Facebook again, because I'm the champion of GCW. And so my matches are going
you
out.
Existing in general, or you existing on Facebook?
No, me existing in general.
Okay.
That's what gets me. And then the one specific guy who seems to be doing the most of the complaining when it comes to GCW is some motherfucker named Effy, however the fuck you pronounce his name. First off, what kind of a feminine fruitcake ass name is that? You need to get yourself a better name, homeboy. Get that fruitcake shit out of here. So this Effy motherfucker has been barking off and been running off at the mouth.
Okay, so that was a clip from, I don't even care who it was.
Can we do a dance remix, and that's the opening song?
Well, this
to the
is
podcast?
what's so funny. Originally, the Effy name was biblical Ephraim, a shortened version that sounded more effeminate, which means bearing much fruit. So when he says I have a feminine fruitcake name, I go, darling, you hit the nail on the head. I've chosen this name specifically because it's fruity and because it's a more effeminate version of it, which to me, it's like the funniest thing. There was another guy who was like, he put up the pictures of me and Microman, like, me giving him the little cute thing, and then me kissing redacted after our death match, which I will discuss, which is why I have a large-scale Harry Potter scar on my head, and was like, this motherfucker's ruining GCW, and Brett actually wrote in response, and I didn't post Brett's response, I just posted the portion of this that that he responded to. So it's me kissing, and then it's me and Microman, and he wrote, I'm going to tell you something your dense, thick, hollow skull and tiny brain might have a hard time comprehending. This is Brett from GCW defending Effy. Wrestling, it is fake. It's about entertainment. Go back and watch both of the above-mentioned matches from this past weekend and see how the crowd reacted to each of them. Spoiler, they loved that shit. So to have the owner of the company coming in to go, you guys are fucking foolish. I need these guys to understand this. Say my fucking name, okay? I don't care if you pronounce it incorrectly. Talk about me, bring me up, continue to make me trend. When they announced me versus Dark Sheik the other night, trending again, you only make me stronger and greater. And I've learned something, which is if you have strong emotions towards anything, positive or negative, they can be swayed the other way, positive or negative. These are the same fucking losers that are going to come up to me in a year and go, man, I didn't really understand you at first, and now like I got a lot of respect. And I'll just say, and try to turn it into $25 to $35. But the fact remains, y'all are talking and I am doing, and I am talking. I am doing both talking and doing. And I had two sick ass, like the crowd could not have been more into both of those two matches. It was so incredible. At one point, and this is not homophobic, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about that's great. I'm fighting Redacted. And we do a miss spot, right? So we've done like tubes and ironing boards and glass and chairs and just crazy shit. And then he gets the mist, the Redacted mist, and I suck it out of his mouth with a kiss. And then I try to spray it back at him, and it misses. And then he gets back up and still has missed me completely. You saw the mist in my face.
Yeah.
I was green.
Yeah.
Someone started singing Unlimited. Together we're unlimited. And Dan Perch, referee Perch, comes over to my ear and goes, "You hanging in there, Effy? You got to do it. Stay strong. Stay strong for Alphaba." And I fucking lost it in the ring. This man came up and said, "Stay strong for Alphaba," and I lost it. I mean, at this point, I've cracked my head open on a trash can. I'm covered in green mist. I've had the fact that, and I say this as a skilled professional, I do not think you should ever try this at home. The fact that a man can put a bunch of light tubes in front of my chest, my bare chest, and I told Mr. Danger to watch this match because I said, "You want to see something? I'm going to do it in trunks. I'm going to do death match in trunks, brother. I'm not scared." That he can put tubes on my chest and then front flip onto me in the corner, break the glass into my chest, and I'm only left with minor scratches. It blows my mind. Every time, I need you to know what I'm thinking, Peter. My guts are going to be hanging out of me like Death of a Unicorn. My guts are going to be spilling on the floor. How stupid am I to do this? So after all of this happens, to have him checking in on me, knowing I'm okay, and then ribbing me with the "do it for Alphaba." People are the funniest in the moments where they shouldn't be. And that is some of the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I talked to the fan afterwards who was doing that, and he was like, "Oh, I hope you didn't think I was being offensive." Like, I was really all about it.
Yeah.
Apparently someone was calling me a sissy from outside the ring, but Matt Tremont's wife, Chrissy, went and dealt with his ass. People are not, they're not going to put up with it. I can't hear everything in the ring, and I'm focused. I'm doing a thing. If I notice these things, there are events I have prayed that I would notice these things, because I would get so over if I fucking assaulted a homophobe at my own show, and then no one would press charges. You fucking pussy, would you press charges? You're going to press charges? Well, he called me a homophobic slur at my job where I perform in front of my fans. And so I had to make an example of him. And the officers would go, "Yeah, man, he seems like a real dumbass." I can say ACAB and they'd still be on my side on this one. So just know, please, don't make anyone else uncomfortable. But if you have something to say, come say it to me. Let's do a thing. Let's do a bit. It'll be fun. And if you have negative opinions of Effy, please keep sharing them. Please keep telling people how much you hate me, how bad I am, how fruity I am, how gay I am, how this isn't wrestling, how this doesn't count, because I'm the fucking world champion. I've defended the belt 15 times. 15 times in a little over 2 months, 2 months and 10 days. Okay? I'm going to keep defending the belt. I just got a message about defending it another place, so let's fucking do it. This only makes me powerful. Okay? I wouldn't be where I am if there weren't haters, and there weren't haters that turned into lovers. So I hope you keep talking about me on Facebook. I hope you keep telling your friends how horrible I am. And I hope you keep looking out in the audience and going, why does everyone I want to fuck also want to fuck Effy? The men, the women, the thems, the theys, every person out there. And that has to make you so flustered and mad, because you can't live your own truth. You have to get on YouTube and talk about me. It's fine. You know, I want to quote, you remember Jamie Kennedy?
Yeah.
Didn't he do Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yeah.
Did you ever see his movie? Did you ever see his movie about critics?
No.
He had these guys in a room where they said, give your opinion on Jamie Kennedy. And they had written stuff online that was just real, not like you suck at your job, but he goes into a real conversation about someone giving sloppy oral sex and describing it sort of in very distinct detail. And he's like, you'll never have that. You've never had that, and you never will. And so you can say whatever you want about me. Just know how fucking sick my life is. Like, you can have any critical expression of yourself that you want. Just know you'll never have it as good as me, and you can hate me every day of your life.
So usually when you go out on the weekends, I won't hear from you for, pretty much the whole weekend. And then I'll get some sort of update text that is the signal that you're, about to arrive
Alive.
home and you're alive and everything's fine. And so I get this mere selfie of you with the blood and the green. And my first thought was that you look like, a cut Mighty Boosh character that they thought was,
I look like old Greg with the green on me.
But then I, spirited away the little green head guys that roll around in threes and just bump into things. That was what
me.
You yeah.
I do bump into things. Hold on, I'm throwing in a Velo. Shout out Velo, our official sponsor. Love it. Suck on it. They're not our official sponsor.
When I was putting the newsletter together, substack.com/
I think we don't call it a newsletter anymore. I think they're called stacks.
Okay,
Stackers.
we can call it whatever.
This is Stacker 2. That's actually a wrestling joke because they were used to sponsor SmackDown.
Okay.
The
dick
diet pill, yeah.
Oh, the diet pill.
Well, they're diet pills,
They're
but like
diet
your
pills.
dick gets, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think any pill with yohimbe in it. Are you familiar with yohimbe?
I
It's in a lot
probably
of like
should be.
dieting, cutting, like whatevers. It's like nature's meth. It's like a yohimbe is nature's meth. Like if they were like chew on this yohimbe bark, you'd be gritting it out.
What were we talking about?
I'm talking about Paris is Burning. Darling. No, we weren't talking about that at all. It doesn't matter. Let's go through the week a little bit. I have to tell you about the best meal I've ever had.
Okay.
Tell
me about it.
I got into Edmonton Thursday night, and then Friday before the show, the lovely Stephen Crow was like, yo, do you want to get food before the show? I said, yeah. We were having a heavyweight championship match that night for the GCW championship for the second time in Edmonton, Alberta, for the second company in Edmonton, Alberta. And we went to this place called, I think it was called Jerusalem. Hold up, let me look this up. Now, you know where Jerusalem is, right?
Uh-huh.
It's in Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
These were Palestinian people making
Ooh.
my food. Edmonton. Jerusalem shawarma. I'm telling you, it's the best fucking meal I've ever had in my life. They had a donate to Palestine box, which I did. Here's the thing. I love Jewish people. I love Jewish traditions. I love the Jewish faith. I'm not an Israel guy. I don't get it. I don't like it. I believe in Palestine supremacy. You can't use supremacy. Either way, this is Palestinian traditional food with things like hummus and things like shawarma and things like chicken kofta plates. And I got the deluxe ass plate. And I'm telling you, this hummus was the thickest I've ever, whatever their fucking ratio is of tahini to garbanzo beans is unbelievable. The garlic is so good in it. I got the deluxe meat plate, potatoes, creams, baba ganoush, beautiful flavored rice, vegetables. And then I did flirt with the waiter a little bit. And he brought me over the pistachio cheesecake. And this will be in the vlog.
That's
I
how
took
he was
videos
flirting
of this
with you?
meal.
He brought you.
No, I flirted first until he brought. I had a plan, Peter, and we flirted over cheesecake, and we split. Me and Steven ended up splitting the cheesecake, but we did do the flirt for the cheesecake to make that happen, and it was magic. I fucking love this food. I love Jerusalem shawarma in Edmonton. I love Palestine, and I wish, what else is there to say right now? I don't want to get into the meal, but I want to say the meal was so perfect, and the food is so nourishing, and it was a heavy, big meal, but I didn't feel overstuffed. And then at the end, the waiter who was flirting a little bit brought us over 2 hot teas. And the hot tea at the end of the meal, out of nowhere, just sets everything into motion. And I think that's why I performed so well that night, because I was just fucking full of shawarma. Do you want any more pita bread? He just brought me more. Just brought me more pita bread. Yeah, it's pretty privileged a little bit. I know. But also, I deserved it. Now, that was only Friday. Friday night, love pro wrestling. I defended that belt against Stephen Crow, Rhinestone Cowboy. Officially coming to Big Gay Brunch. Yes. We announced a bunch more talent Saturday night for Big Gay Brunch, and we found out as I got to Chicago the next day, not that there wasn't the Edmonton show was great. On top of the show, I got to go to the arcade. So they gave me a 2-hour arcade pass at this arcade after the show. And I just disappeared into the games. I could play any game that wasn't tickets, but I could still play skee ball. And I played a lot of skee ball. I played Tomb Raider. I played a crazy pirate shooting game. I played car games. And then they had virtual reality rides that you could play. That shit is crazy. It's like a motion thing and you put the thing on, but it's like an arcade game. I love it. I played, did I sing you this picture of me on the Fast and Furious game?
No, but I saw it.
I played Fast and Furious, the game.
The game.
On arcade. It had the full setup, 4 giant TVs built up to play one-on-one, and you can do flips with the cars. And they're not just races, like, oh, Cruising USA is races, Mario Kart is races. No. You had to get there in time to defuse the bombs. You had to get there in time to stop the plane from getting away. You had to get there in time to... It was built with storyline.
Okay, what characters?
Okay.
Who showed up?
I don't think there's any characters.
Okay.
So, I don't know if they got that license. There's pictures of Vin Diesel in it.
Not even Tyrese?
No.
No
Luda, no
Tyrese?
Tyrese. And then, I don't know if you remember the character Brian, played by...
Not even the, like, brother hologram?
No, they didn't even have brother hologram there. But they did have, you sit in the car and it like vibrates and you can feel it.
I want brother hologram or nothing.
I know. I'm sorry. That venue's very cool. The Rec Room in Edmonton. It's like pool tables and bowling and arcade and restaurant and bar and huge theater where they have concerts and I guess wrestling sometimes. That match was crazy though. One of the tables, I placed it in the wrong spot. And when I went to fall on it, my legs just clipped the back of it. And so that didn't feel good. The other table worked fine. At one point, this boy, Steven, jumped on me with a chair in front of his feet. And I was bleeding out the side of my head a little bit. It was my fault. I didn't hit the chair right. But this was the start of just like a very intense weekend of wrestling. This match was like no holds barred, crazy. He had one of his gang members, Michael Richard Blaze, come in and try to kill me. And I survived. I survived the match. And so I had to go to Chicago. And now Micro Man, obviously, we talked about a little bit, right? Incredible match. But after the match, talking about Big Gay Brunch, April 19th at the Palms Resort in Las Vegas at the Pearl Theater during WrestleMania week, during the Collective, where I will be the only place I'll defend the Big Gay Championship of GCW, the Game Changer Wrestling Championship, okay? Dark Sheik confronted me. And she is correct about a lot of the things she said, which is things like, after we defeated Jinder Mahal and the Bollywood Boys, why wasn't I there anymore? Why wasn't I on your War Games team? Why wasn't I at Hammerstein? Why wasn't I around? And you know what? I agree, and I don't know why you haven't been around, and I'm sorry. And this was actually the first time she was seeing me with the championship belt. So I felt like a certain type of way about like, okay, she has some valid points, but I have to be perfectly clear. I can't lose this belt. I can't. I don't know what I would do.
This is about the
right
Dove
now.
Man, isn't it? You didn't contact the Dove Man.
I did contact the Dove
You
Man.
did contact the Dove
and
Man?
I think that's why it's a problem.
Oh, no.
Right. So, I hope to have a highly competitive, fun match on my namesake novelty show. I don't think that's what Sheik's planning to do. I think I'm going to be beaten within an inch of my life, and I think there's still going to be love between us. Like, I don't blame her entirely for wanting to take my head off. And she sort of said, I'm the ruler of everything, and that we don't need a ruler, we need a leader. I hope I'm not just a ruler of anything, because I'm not doing great at ruling. I'm trying to lead myself, okay? I'm not doing this for the rest of the kids anymore. I mean, I guess I am. I'm doing...
Men are bad at measuring.
What do you mean?
You should not be a ruler.
Oh, you know, it's at least 9.5 inches, right?
I don't know what even in my place of employment where I see different size dicks every day, even those measurements are not consistent.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're saying that we were all given different rulers or that we're lying?
I think lying.
Yeah. Okay. That actually makes more sense. I think that if you want to see the match of the weekend, and I'm in it, you have to come see Effy versus Dark Sheik. I know her like the back of my hand. She knows me like the back of my hand. Now, the point that really cut into me like a knife, though, was that, and she's right. Do you know who the first person to ever fly me on a plane for wrestling was?
Who?
Dark Sheik.
Oh.
Dark Sheik created me. Dark Sheik believed in me before anyone else did. And me and Dark Sheik are very close friends, I think. Right? And I think there's been ups and downs, and that's the beauty of friendship is, you know, learning how to adjust to each other to make the other one feel good. And I don't think she's adjusting anymore. I think she's going to try to kill me at Big Gay Brunch. I think people underestimate that I've lost my fucking mind a few times. And I'm very good at being like presentable here. But if anyone watched the redacted match on fucking Sunday, there is still a part of me that is an insane, bloodthirsty psychopath. And, you know, it comes out when it comes out. And it happens when it happens. But I hope the Pearl Theater has a mop, because you will have to drain 20 pints of blood out of my big, burly, meaty body to take the championship off of me. I will do anything. Anything.
I hope they have a mop.
I hope you have a fucking mop. Well, I saw what they're charging me for production, so
they better have a mop.
I'm not going to make it easy for anyone. Let me tell you a secret. If you have to pay those kind of fees for you to handle my business, then you're handling my fucking business, you losers. Glad to be a part of it. Big Gay Brunch is going to be incredible. I have a lot of people flyering Las Vegas right now, which is good. They just did a newspaper article write-up on a bunch of the shows, but including Big Gay Brunch. And they did mention to the audience, you do not have to see Effy's Big Gay Brunch 1 through 9 to be able to understand what's going on at 10. And I quote tweeted that and said, but if you have seen them all, the payoff is certainly incredible. Very cool stuff ahead in the next few weeks. I have a lighter schedule going into that, so I'm only going to be doing the Philly special this Sunday with GCW, which I really have to hold on to this championship. Tony Deppen is a piss horse of attack. And
what?
He thinks he deserves everything in this business.
He's a piss horse?
He's a piss horse. You know what I mean? Like a piss horse?
No.
Like when the horse is real angry?
No.
Like, oh, look at that piss horse. Like it's
Is
a real
this
bucking
Southern thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a real bucking bronco.
A bucket bronco?
Bucking bronco. Because,
Like
you know,
pisses
he was
in
at
the
a time where
bucket
he was
and
holding
kicks it
a
over?
ring. What? Does it? No, it doesn't piss. It's pissed. But it's a piss horse. It's a fucking piss horse.
I'm just imagining a horse covered in piss.
No, you got to imagine a horse that has a piss so
Are you
bad.
saying
you
Tony
locked it in
Deppen is a
cage.
horse covered in piss?
I wish. God. Honestly, I have such a crush on him. With the one of the times where
Tony
AJ
Deppen looks good.
What?
He looks good.
He looks great.
He looks great.
Honestly, he looks even cuter now. He's got a little he's put a little weight on the pecs with the dad weight, and it's fucking. I hate it. Here's the problem. Like, somebody's gonna end up. I was watching a match from Effy's Big Gay Brunch 8, and it's Jay Vidal versus Rico Gonzalez, and I sent a video of it to Rico because we were watching on stream, and I went, "When is somebody gonna call me out?" And he says, "For what?" And I go, "The fact that I book like just the hottest dudes in matches." There was the one at Big Gay Brunch 9 in Philly that was Monomoth, the most beautiful Thai boy you've ever seen. Aaron Rourke, the most handsome white dude you've ever seen. Rico Gonzalez, the most beautiful Mexican boy you've ever seen. Devon Monroe, sexual chocolate beauty, black sexcellence. And I'm going, is this just me quantifying and diverse? But I was like, no, they genuinely are extremely talented wrestlers. But also, like, the audience and myself, we want to see hot people fight. I'm sorry. That's the facts. There's a lot of different talents. There's all different body sizes. There's all different types of hot on the show. But sometimes
that's
just
why
like
hot people get to act and interesting looking people get to act.
yeah.
Like, you can't do the like. There's
No,
a reason.
Opus. Did you see Opus?
No.
Well, I'm gonna spoil it. You can be anything you want on stage, but you can't be boring.
Exactly. There was another movie that was that.
I don't think it was Opus. I think I just
it.
attributed Opus to that quote.
What is that from?
I don't know. Someone's gonna correct us.
It's from.
Go see Opus though. It's really fun.
It's from a movie we watched multiple times.
Yeah. Bob Dylan.
But
It was a complete unknown. Timothy Chalamet. You can hear me almost cry over Timothy Chalamet on the mini-sode on our Patreon at weekendateffys.com. I had a godly experience thinking about Timothy Chalamet the other night. Not in that way, but I have before. Okay. Now he's 30. That's a 30-year-old man, all right? We're not... That was like somebody got mad on Twitter. They were like, the dude from White Lotus, he said, I can fix him. And he was like, 31-year-olds and 22-year-olds should not. And I was like, shut the fuck. Everybody shut the fuck up. Everybody shut the fuck up. And it's mostly these Gen Z kids. You hear me, Gen Z kids? Let me tell you a secret. Adults consenting are having fun. Where am I going with any of this?
I don't know.
Dark Chic, Effy, Big Gay Brunch. It's going to be fucked. If I survive and I'm not depressed, I'm going to go see RuPaul. Not her, but like her squad of minions at this current moment the next day. Now, I also just found out from Nick Karp that it's very likely we will be attending a Sphere event.
Oh, shit.
And I think it's the Grateful Dead.
I mean...
With John Mayer.
With John Mayer?
With
okay,
John Mayer.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the Grateful Dead are dead, but we're grateful that they lived.
Yeah.
The first time I ever got stoned, have we told this show on this?
No.
Where I went to the Jerry Garcia art show with the kids from my youth group in my minivan in Spartanburg, and we got high as fuck and went to the Jerry Garcia art show. It was so much fun. And then when I got back, I got a call from my friend Bobby, who was at CVS. So I went and met him there in the minivan, and I was stoned. And it was this girl she had to get a pregnancy test because she was pregnant. So I remember this night like the back of my hand. Really crazy time. I think I was 15 or 16, maybe. Learner's Prime. I had to be 16, maybe.
It was a Grateful Dead?
It was Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead's art show.
Okay.
In a hotel.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was awesome. He had all his paintings. He was a great painter. Great artist overall. Also, I don't know if you know this, it's their poppiest, most known radio track, Touch of Grey. That song is a curse and a spell. And whenever you hear it, it's a curse.
The lightning strike. When they were going to play it for the first time and ruin their career, and then the lightning hit the radio station and it didn't play.
Oh, wow.
That's from that.
I didn't know that.
That's from the podcast you recommended to me about them killing all the people.
Oh, yeah, the Grateful Dead killer.
Yeah, because they did those really fun interstitials that are like just about their career.
We got to clean out the warehouse up
here. They were basically like losing some of their cool, essentially, like becoming a little bit more. And so there was this like dangerous position that they were sitting in of becoming too over the top, and radio play was such a big deal that whatever radio station was, because it was like contractual obligation, we have to make the studio record, otherwise they're going to drop us. And so we have the first single, but whatever radio station got to play it first, every other radio station in the country would be mad at them and not give them any play. So it was about to be like actual career suicide for them if they released a single. And they sent one of the dudes to the radio station to talk about it, and he stupidly brought the record with him. And they set to play the record, and lightning struck the radio station at that very moment, to where the like radio signal just went dead at that point. And he realized what he had done, and like in a panic grabbed the record and like put it away, and so no one got to hear it till the album came out.
That's great. Well, it's a curse song.
Yeah.
It's a magic object.
Yeah.
Like it's
third
There's
mind
something
deep.
eternal.
Yeah.
Something dark attached itself to that thing, and it's a curse song. And I just want you to know, if you're in public and you hear Touch of Grey, I don't think if you seek it out on your own to listen to, it's the same as it occurring to you in public in a place and a time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can put a curse on yourself by just going and seeking out on Spotify Touch of Grey by Grateful Dead.
Well, you tried to tell me that one song was a curse, that you would hear it all the time, and I literally never heard it.
You didn't hear it ever again after?
No, only when you played it and talked about it. Yeah.
Because when I heard it the first time, when Joey put it on me, it kept showing up everywhere. And then I played it for Allie, kept showing up everywhere. And so you, I guess, are immune to this. Have you put some sort of boundary on yourself from certain?
I have many boundaries.
Whoa, baby, we're gonna love tonight. Oh, baby, we're gonna love tonight.
I have plenty of synchronicities, other directions, like very specific stuff.
I think I get a lot of musical synchronicity.
Musical synchronicities, really.
But I wonder if that's because I've like musically had music in my life forever.
I've been waking up. They say the first song that you wake up to has some like significant meaning to you.
Yeah.
When I needed to leave the smoke shop, it was that Drake song, "Been Down So Long It Looked Like Up Now," would just like pop into my head, and I knew I had to get the fuck out of there.
Okay.
And now it's that Bruno Mars.
Was that song with
Apartment
Future? And it had that sick beat switch in the middle of it?
Maybe.
I think it was.
But now it's the ba-dee, ba-dee,
Yeah,
ba-dee,
yeah.
ba-dee.
Rose and Bruno Mars.
Yeah, and I just have a delightful day.
What's that Bruno Mars Glorilla song that Lady Gaga's dancing in the video of?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So Squishy?
Yeah.
That no, I think I'm mixing it with the Tyler the Creator song Sticky, which is on the radio all the time right now, and it rules. I love it. I'm like fully obsessed with Glorilla and this Memphis accent. When she was at the Billboard Women in Music Awards and was saying, "All my beautiful women," and it was so pure, because that's just like, she has this deep Memphis about her, and it's like the most. It's really easy to humanly attach yourself to Glorilla, because you're like, she's not gonna fix her voice for anyone. She's doing what she does, which is Memphis.
Why is all I'm finding a Bruno Mars song called Gorilla?
Oh, it's Sexy Red. It's Sexy Red. I'm mixing up Glorilla and Sexy Red because they both make good music, not for any other reason.
Fat and Juicy?
Fat and Juicy.
Fat, Juicy, and Wet.
Fat, Juicy, and Wet. Yeah, that song rules. I'm a big Sexy Red fan, too. Not as much as Alley Catch. Like, there's some days where it's a little much to listen to Sexy Red. But then there's some days where I'm like, I need it. I need it fat, juicy, and wet. Fat, juicy, and wet. I think they're talking about vaginas. And not buffalo boneless wings. Which are also really good when they're fat, juicy, and wet.
Yeah. Are they though?
Buffalo wings?
I don't know when they can, because they're doing this thing now where they just like overcompensate with the sauce, and so it's like kind of soggy. Like, do you ever have wing nuts back in the day?
Yeah.
But wing nuts now is trash.
But here's what I'm going to say, something controversial. Wingstop is good.
Wingstop
is good.
Wingstop. Okay.
Wingstop is good. Get them extra fried before you sauce them. You can get them extra fried before you sauce them. That's what I do. I do a dry rub lemon pepper, and then I pick a sauce on it. I do them extra fried, and then they're really right. Fat, juicy, and wet. I love it. I think it songs about buffalo chicken wings, and I think that's perfect. Now, Sunday I did go to St. Louis. Luckily, we went ahead and got the travel done the night before, so I went down with Dan the Dad and Alec Price. We got barbecue. And then we got Hawaiian barbecue. So first I got St. Louis brisket at a restaurant with fried okra and baked beans and garlic bread. And it was like hole in the wall right next to Dan the Dad's house. And it was just like the most perfect Sunday morning. He was like, "Folks, I'm sorry, we're out of sausages." And I was like, dude, that happens. But I think people forget oftentimes, like, the St. Louis barbecue, Kansas City barbecue, Midwest scene. Yeah. They really have some good ass barbecue. Yeah. And they season their meat so well that a lot of times you really don't need much sauce on there. And they had a good, like, sweet and spicy sauce, but, like, I really didn't need much sauce. Now, I will say, when I had brisket in Montreal, they did not serve it with any barbecue sauce. They served it with an au jus, which I'm not familiar with being a way to serve brisket, but it was fine. But I want like a little bit of sticky sauce on there. So that was good. But then we had the Hawaiian barbecue too. Now, this fucking St. Louis show was like absurd in the weirdest ways. Now, you know I have history with the Insane Clown Posse. Yeah. When Violent J was in my tag team with Alley Catch, the Insane Clown Pussy. We also had some, we had some historic times together that were different. Now, I guess we're enemies again. I don't know, because Violent J was doing a concert after the GCW show. So I fought Dr. Redacted, aka the murder surgeon. Have you seen this guy, Dr. Redacted? He's fucking nuts. He used to be, here's what happened. He used to be in Kaiju Big Battle as the Dr. Cube. And then when Kaiju Big Battle wasn't running, he started performing as Dr. Cube and going nutso. But then they said, you can't be Dr. Cube, which is crazy to me, because I just want to be clear. And I'm going to look into the camera when I say this. Kaiju Big Battle doesn't pay performers. Anyone that you saw performing on Kaiju Big Battle, besides like maybe if someone was in a main event or something was big, if they were in those costumes, you could not find that man to get paid. And if they were running in Florida, maybe y'all got paid $5. But I know the guys they were using, and I know they can get away with not paying y'all. Sorry, it's disrespectful. So the fact that this person wanted to stop Dr. Cube from being Dr. Cube when he was just getting more bookings, and literally, let me tell you how it works when Dr. Cube shows up on a show that's not Kaiju Big Battle. More people learn about Kaiju Big Battle. Huh, you think? You fucking idiot. It's... To be such a bad,
fun.
It's super fun. But now he's like turned into kind of a deathmatch legend where he like Redacted is known more than Cube was.
That's
and
so
Redacted
funny.
is like over as fuck. And he now isn't wearing the big head. He's not wearing the helmet thing. So you can see his face. It makes it better. He's doing the mist. He does crazy stuff. He does gusset plates and ironing boards and glass tubes everywhere. It was nuts. Like it was a nuts match. And fuck Kaiju Big Battle. I worked for them one time as the Cheeseburger Bear, but also what a fucking bunch of losers if you don't pay talent to be a part of your show. And if they would like to step up and say that that's incorrect and show, but I know myself and many, many, many others who I can verify with were not paid. So the fact that you would go and try to not make him Dr. Cube, you're a piece of shit scumbag who uses wrestlers to have your little fantasy stories come to life, and you're a fucking goon. Not goon like, oh, I'm gooning. Like, you're a fucking low-level bully thug idiot. And I hope that wrestlers now will stop agreeing to fucking do any work for you because you're a fucking loser. But Dr. Redacted fucking rules. We had a crazy match. I've seen him have 2 matches with Matthew Justice, and they made me nervous because it was just like chaos the whole time. I mean, the guy's got a trash can on his head. They're jumping around. He threw a trash can at my face, and then my head got split with a trash can, which, like, this looks not good, right? But I need you to understand, the full weight of my forehead was brought down on the edge of a trash can. I was not aiming correctly. This is on me. And that's all it did. It wasn't even deep split. It was like it bruised into my head and broke the first 2 layers of skin. But I thought I was going to have to glue my face back together. I didn't stop the match because I'm an idiot. But I was like, oh, I'm going to have to glue my face back together or like get stitches on my face tonight. No, it like was fine. I have a very tough head. Same thing with my skin, I guess, because he fucking front flipped on me with glass.
You're the boy who lived.
I found this pair of glasses in Chicago that are like not Harry Potter at all. But I was wearing them yesterday, and I was looking...
Middle-aged Harry Potter that...
Very Harry Potter.
Tries to get children to get candy in his van.
Okay, it's not a van. It's a flying motorcycle, and my name is Hagrid, and I shaved down a little bit. Hello?
And you transport children to school.
Well, how else are they going to get to school? Their parents aren't going to take them, the fucking muggles. And that, knowing J.K. Rowling now, I don't even want to say words like muggles because it does feel like she had a lot of hate in her heart when creating anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like everything and every word that she made up is like borderline hate speech. Like, I just don't even feel comfortable with it anymore. Hey, here's what I'll say. John Lithgow, get your fucking check, okay? Dumbledore, you want to do it, get your check. We will not be attending.
He's coming back for Dexter too, so I think he's just kind of like cashing in.
He owes some bills,
Yeah.
or he's just like making sure he can retire.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get Gene Hackman, so to speak. John Lithgow, Lord Farquaad, Shrek 5. It's going to be a big Lithgow year next year.
It's big Lithgow summer.
Wow. Oh my God, just think about it. Remember Third Rock from the Sun?
Yeah. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, who was like the first androgyny boy crush. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt with long, beautiful hair. You're like, gender-wise, this, I don't care what this is. He's a cutie.
I saw Mysterious Skin at a very formidable age, and it kind of blew a lot of stuff up.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's fine. We are who we are. You know, Kesha said that. Have you heard the new Kesha songs?
I haven't.
Take me down to the trailer park.
She's still using AI.
Hose me down at the trailer park. She what?
Still using AI.
No, she took it down.
Okay.
She changed it. She took it down and changed it. Here's the thing. Once again, I'm going to stand by my point. We cannot get rid of AI. But the only thing AI should be used for, once again, is replacing all children in acting roles and re-recording all of R. Kelly's songs.
I mean, that's
with
what
the voice of
Harmony
Seal or
Korine's doing
Babyface.
with that baby. He couldn't get actual babies to be in that movie.
Well, no. I guess he is. Wow.
I'm telling you,
And
he's the one use case.
He also gave babies guns.
He also gave
Which
babies
I'm,
guns.
if anything, like here's my Subway take: only give babies guns. There it is. That's the Subway take. If you get shot by a baby, you're a fucking loser. End of story. St. Louis was beautiful though. I had such a good time. It's good to be there with like a Dan the dad who knows the area, because then you're not just like, oh, we're in St. Louis. Like, I guess we'll go to Denny's because that's what we know. Like, he took me to cool restaurants, and then end of the night, I had Hawaiian barbecue and cried about Timothée Chalamet. And like, to me, that's a perfect evening.
Yeah.
What else do I need? I don't need anything else. That's perfect. Think about it though, really. Who else has had a more profound cultural impact as an actor in the last decade than Timothée Chalamet? There's not. It's just, you can't. Zendaya, maybe Zendaya, but cultural impact across the fucking fronts, it's Chalamet. All right. You know how I know that like they're all separate and everything's normal, but I know humans. Okay. And Tom Holland, he couldn't have been happy about Zendaya spending that much time with Timothée Chalamet on the Dune set while he's learning Bob Dylan songs with a guitar. He couldn't have been. How was the set?
They said Chalamet said that Holland's the Riz master though.
Yeah, but that's him making Holland feel good now so that he's not as worried. But you think that man wasn't calling every night thinking that he was getting those long Chalamet fingers right inside of Zendaya's mouth like she likes? I don't know. Paul Muad'Dib Atreides is fucking your girl. Right?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, if I was Tom Holland, I'm not saying it happened. I'm just saying, being Tom Holland from that perspective and looking in from the outside with all the trust in my heart for my girl.
You think it happened when he was shooting Uncharted?
Oh my God. It had to be. Do you think he talked to Wahlberg about it? You know what? There's a lot of girls out there you can get, bro. It's going to be fine. He didn't even do the Sully mustache. It's really sickening.
He told them about Romeo and Juliet laws.
Okay, let me just. What I'm really saying is, I hope that they all.
That was a
kiss.
good callback.
That was a great callback.
That was a good callback.
The Romeo and Juliet law. Wasn't that on the minisode though?
Yeah.
Oh,
listen to
well.
the minisode.
Yeah, listen to the minisode if you want to hear about Mark Wahlberg and the Romeo and Juliet plastic law card from Transformers.
Maybe it
Age of
wasn't a good
Extinction.
callback.
It's disgusting. The whole thing's gross, so it's a great callback, but it made me go, oh God. And this is a new segment we're doing. All right. Do you want to know the new segment?
Yeah.
It's called Something to Think About.
Okay.
If April showers brings May flowers, why isn't it raining yet?
Something to think about.
Something to think about. Weekendateffys.com. Sign up for the Patreon. What a fun time. Watch all my wrestling matches and talk shit about me. I love you all. You're fantastic.